Good morning all, CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday morning, November 28th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and SPY, and we have a lot of moving parts this morning. So once again, the market keeps things very interesting for us, as after an inside day on our abbreviated session on Friday, we're coming out of that on a gap, right? So we know we go with an inside day and monitor it for continuation or lack of. We also know, though, that the bigger the gap gets, the less likely I want to jump on it. Right now, we're 14 wide at 0375 in ES. We've traded down just above by about 50 cents where change took place on the Tuesday. The key day to me is last Monday because that is the weekly low. So you'd like to stay above where change took place on Tuesday because below that you have that pullback in H, but not much. And then, again, you start coming back down. And then a weekly could start being questioned and the bears could set their sights on it. But for right now, coming into balance on the daily, I have no problem with that. Right now, the overnight high in SPY is 402.65. The overnight low is 398.29. This is SPY's overnight from Friday. Remember, a session ended in G, then you had H on. So you have kind of a double distribution. So if you are to push up here this morning, it's not a bad short to take against where the upper end of that lower distribution of the overnight is, right? That's a good risk reward against the gap fill. That would be a short, okay? Same on ES if it was to push up. Again, if the gap is $1 or less, I don't mind taking that short. If you start getting above this level, then things can change and they might go and fill that gap, and then you could reverse and take a long to just fill it. You will be starting with lower value now and a gap. Two things in the seller's favor. As far as a long, if we're to get somewhere near where change took place, not a bad place to attempt a long to see if it holds, right? So right now, SPY's overnight low did not get to that. So if you want to take a long against that, you can do that, and then it's about 50 cents worth of heat to F's high. So that's something you'd have to determine. But just remember, if they do take out the overnight low, sellers will have gap, value, overnight low, and the indices in their favor. So again, you might get a responsive bounce the first time against F's high, but it would only be for that. I would still be looking for shorts after that on any pushes up until the buyers prove they want to start taking back a bunch of what might occur this morning. That goes the same, obviously, in ES. Triple Q's also looking to gap lower, as you can see, and so is IWM right now in the Russell. So those are all early plays right now. A short on a push-up where the gap isn't as bad, and against this high of the double distribution in SPY, and a long possibly against where change took place on that Tuesday from last week. And then just quickly on the chart, just give me a second. So again, let's start with the weekly. So the weekly is fine as long as we don't take out last week's low of 392.66. We're still $6.50 above it. I don't have a problem with that, as buyers eventually want to test these lower highs on the weekly and get to September's high. So that's still firmly in play. As far as the daily goes, right? You're coming out of an inside day to the downside, okay? You go with it, monitor it for continuation. The question is, how big is the balance going to be? It's just going to be forming today. Will it just be Wednesday, Friday, and today, or will we get more into Tuesday's range? If you do that, then it becomes a 4-day balance, okay? So that's what you're going to have to see. We attempted to get to the 200. So far, we've failed, which is up at 404.79. But for now, we're still pretty healthy, almost $10 above the 20. Good luck trading today. Thanks for the likes and subscribing, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.